my name is Denise and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark. Today I went thrifting and I'm gonna bring you along with me, show you some highlights of when I am in the thrift store, and of course go over what I bought today. When I was out there thrifting, I popped into the Goodwill first. I was really hoping to find some new racks, and it did take a little bit, but eventually the new racks came out, and I'll talk about shopping new racks. So I found some purses today, which was unusual, and I actually hit it off with the woman who was putting the purses out. So let's talk right away. I'm gonna jump right into it about the purses that I picked up. I did see a gorgeous vintage Coach bag for $45.99. It is definitely the style that 20-year-olds are carrying right now. I know that because my daughter recently took 2 of them that I had gotten at the bins, and she brought them home with her. This Coach bag that I saw was priced at $45.99. It was in beautiful condition. You know, I find that sometimes with certain labels, people decide that they really just don't want to carry those bags. They're like special occasion bags. So then you have the opportunity to find them with little to no wear. And the employee also told me, because we were chatting for a while, that she does use Google Image when she prices these bags. So good to know. She said, oh, I have another Coach bag over here that it didn't price out as high. So I was able to actually, this is one of the bags in that I'm gonna show. I was able to pick up this Coach bag for $9.99. It is beautiful leather. The ability to make this a long handle or just have it be kind of under the shoulder style bag. I love it. It's not comping out over $100. I did see one on Posh for $75, but that was just listing price. It still is beautiful leather, and I'm sorry, Coach or not Coach, a beautiful leather handbag I will definitely thrift for $9.99 if it looks to be in lovely condition. So absolutely a yes for me. As I was going through the bags, I noticed this bag. It was called Pixie Mood. It had little clutch handles to it, but it was shaped a little bit more. I would call it like a modern work bag. You could probably put about a 13-inch laptop in it. It had cute floral on the inside. I had never heard of Pixie Mood, so of course I did some Google image searching. The outside of it felt like a lovely leather, but I think actually it may have been vegan. I didn't do that deep of a dive. So when I did the Google search and started looking, there's 2 things, right? There's what people are listing items at, and then there's what people sold the items at, many times as a sold bag. And the sold bags that I was seeing were only selling for $15 to $35. Let's say that, $15 to $35. So I ultimately decided to pass on the Pixie Mood bag. Now, as I put the Pixie Mood bag back, I noticed that there was a Brighton tote. Now, a lot of people should be familiar with Brighton. It's sort of that silvery Western rich leather. They do very intricate detail silver on their medallions and tips and buckles and that kind of thing. I braided. It's very Western-y, kind of, I also think 90s vibes. And I saw this tote. Now it was $8.99, so it kind of made me pause because I think like $8.99 is high for a tote bag there. There were 2 of them, and so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna quickly just see what the comps are on these 2 tote bags. Well, it turns out the first one that I ran the comps on didn't really have that great of comps, $20 to $30. But then when I ran comps on this one, I saw it was listed selling for more like $50 to $60. So I decided, you know what? I am gonna pick up this one for $8.99, hoping I can sell it for about $50. Also, to me, for that piece, considering that that is really at the top of the price point that I would wanna pay, it's just a canvas tote bag. It really is in lovely condition and doesn't look like it's been used. Some of the other bags that I picked up today. I found this Patricia Nash crossbody bag. It sort of looks like a mini briefcase. It's got the little handle at the top. It's got a pocket in the back. Patricia Nash is just really known for high quality leather handbags. They usually have some sort of floral detailing. This one just has a plain interior to it, and it turns out, actually, I was looking to see if there was anything in the pockets. This one's just tan on the inside. I paid up for this $19.99. I did the Google search and I saw one posted for maybe like $150, so I felt confident. What I was gonna say is that I do have a Patricia Nash dust bag that I got one time at the bins. I thought, well, if I ever find Patricia Nash, I'll have a dust bag to go with it, and there you have it. That dust bag that I have is a little bit more oversized. It'll definitely fit that bigger bag. Another bag I picked up was this Kate Spade bag. This is just a nylon Kate Spade crossbody camera bag. It's got 2 compartments. It's got monochromatic black zippers. And really the best thing about this Kate Spade bag, and what inspired me to pick it up, was that it was $4.99. So here's the vibe of it. Very cute. I do think it's inspired by like a Lululemon belt bag. To me, I really can't find like any wear on this. No wear on it. So $4.99, Kate Spade, all the yes. And last but not least, this is actually also a Madewell camera bag. As I was mentioning, very similar to me to a Lululemon belt bag. Now it does have a crossbody strap. It's a pretty substantial strap. It's got a bunch of pockets. It turns out I actually have that same bag listed in my closet right now. You know, like anyone, I was kind of deciding after I had a little time with the purses if I really was going to thrift or if I was just gonna kind of pop in, pick up some bags and be done with it. So as I was walking by this rack today, I saw some really beautiful embroidery that happened to just catch my attention in a rack of basically t-shirts. And that piece that I saw, my bestie here is having me play Squishmallow with him. The piece that I happened to find was this Johnny Was piece. It is beautiful. It's embroidered. I noticed that it does have this little discoloration spot right here. It looks to be like a grease stain. It was priced at $8.99. It is a size small. Shocker. It's like, does Johnny Was make anything other than extra small or small? Okay. Okay, I don't really want to play with you right now. I love you, but I don't. So, once I found this shirt, it sort of inspired me to maybe just peruse the racks a little bit. I had gone through jeans, I had looked kind of at leggings. I don't find very much luck there with finding a lot of leggings. So I don't spend a lot of time there, so that's probably why I don't find a lot of leggings there. So as I'm going through this rack, I find a few other pieces, and these are the things that I found on the shirt rounders. This is a black sweater. I loved the shape of it, and the brand is called the Reset. It's a size small. I had never heard of the Reset, so I quickly did a Google image search, and I found this piece, or this brand, has a really good retail price to it because it was plain and in fairly good condition, doesn't look to have much wear. I decided to kind of take a chance on the brand. To me, it's a little bit like the Row vibes, and it's black, modern, city, those kind of feelings to it. Minimalist. I also think that I like to say things like capsule collection when I post things like this, because if people are looking to downsize their closets but pull in some high quality pieces that they can use in a multitude of ways, then that's what I consider to be capsule type pieces. I will use those terms when I list the item. So this was kind of funny. I found this Lululemon men's shirt in with the women's shirts. Really not much to say about it, but the funny thing is, as I'm going through the rack, this is what always catches my attention, and I talk about that a lot. It's the remnants of the rip tag, right? So I see the remnants of the rip tag. I'm immediately looking for a Lulu logo, and I really had a hard time like finding the logo, and then finally I found the logo, and it turns out it's a men's Lululemon shirt. It's red. I have women who buy men's shirts from me because they like the fit of them better. So I didn't hesitate to pick this up. This was priced at $3.99. This Goodwill really does price great. And so I do like to try to find and pick out those gems that may be hiding in the racks. So I was walking by the dresses, and really, to be honest, like, I am not going through and putting my hands on every single piece. Like, I'm kind of just going by certain sections, seeing if any fabrics, patterns, materials, or anything catches my attention. And in the maxi dress rack, it's along the wall. Really, the only piece that caught my attention turned out to be a robe. Now, this is a Lands robe, and it's flannel. It has the belt. I confirmed it had the belt, and that sealed the deal for me. And this is really, you know, on the cottage core side of things. I think it would be considered coastal grandma. It's obviously 100% cotton and vintage. It's made in the USA with love, the label says. So I absolutely thought, yes, I am going to grab this for $4.99, even if it's a $25 seller. It's one of those pieces that, like, I love finding vintage Lands pieces, and so I'm just gonna pick up whatever I can find, and I'll sit on it if I need to. I have a feeling I won't be sitting on this. Next up are some thermal Free People tops and just some long sleeve Free People tops. Now, white was 50% off, so I got one of these shirts for $2.50. The other ones I paid $4.99 for, so they're not marking up Free People here. So I do find, as I am going through the racks, that Free People thermal definitely has a little bit of a following. It usually has some cool details. This is the other Free People shirt I got, not thermal. And then the last one has this really fun button on the sleeves. This is gonna need a little cleaning up. I did notice some discoloration. So basically, your weapon against any sort of grease stains is pretty common. Everyone has it in their house. My number one way to combat grease stains is exactly what you would think. Dawn dish soap. They do make a version that's not blue. I know some people don't like to use the blue version. What's funny about Dawn dish soap is that I actually do not use Dawn dish soap on my dishes. It is only in my laundry room for reselling. I wash shoes with it. I stain treat clothes with it. I just picked up an Evereve dress that was more kind of like a sweatshirt casual dress, and it had a grease stain on the front of it, and so someone probably couldn't get it out with just putting laundry detergent on it, so I was able to pick it up for a good price, just like some of these pieces, including the Johnny Was. Dawn will be fine to use on the Johnny Was piece. Now, the last piece that I found on the racks before the new rack came out were the following. I found this Amazing. This is a polo Ralph Lauren for $6.99. This sweater. This is kind of an oversized sweater. It's going to be a little bit longer in length. The beautiful thing about this sweater is I was feeling it, and I often rely on my sense of touch when I am in the thrift store, and I looked at the tag and that piece is 100% linen. So absolutely not going to leave a piece that is polo Ralph Lauren behind that is 100% linen in something like a sweater in the month of September. I mean, that's really like the creme de la creme. Just a few quick kind of sporty pieces that I found as well before I talk about the new racks. I did find a Lululemon bra, and it was $3.99 with 50% off. It's an old style. This is called the Stash bra, and what's funny is that it has a pocket in the front of it, so you can stash whatever you'd like in your bra. I find that hilarious. I just recently posted another Stash bra this week. I had never heard of them or seen them before, and now I've had like 2 in a week. So I got that for $2. It's definitely an older style. It just has the old style size tag on the inside, and it's a size 12. So I'm not really worried about moving it. I'm sure I'll sell that for $20 during a live show. I also found this Resell bra, and I loved the size of it. So this bra is a 38 double D, and I do find a lot of Resell pieces that happen to be on the smaller side. This is what their logo on the outside looks like. They also always put birds on their pieces the majority of times. Even if it's monochromatic, you should find a bird on their piece. I do apologize for Mr. Prancy Pants here. Have to come on camera, okay? There he is. Look. So I found those 2 bras, and the Resell one was $4 and the other one was $2. So 2 bras for $6, great price. And then for $7.99, I found a Lululemon Sculpt tank. And this appears to me to be like around size 10. And I have another one that I just posted in my closet, so I will just compare sizes. So that is what I picked up, and I was going through the new racks. They finally rolled out a few new racks. Now, I have been fortunate enough in the past to find Zadig and Voltaire and Cezanne and Lululemon and Free People overalls. A lot of the times I've discovered at this thrift store that things come in pairs. No other resellers were in the Goodwill when I was there, so when the new racks were coming out, I had them all to myself. Unfortunately, they didn't provide to be that exciting. There are a ton of fast fashion brands at this thrift store, and what did I pick up? Maybe 10 pieces. A lot of hunting and pecking to find those gems. And one of the only gems that I found on the new racks was this 100% cotton, made in Scotland cardigan sweater. You know, odds are good, if you know me at all or have been around my channel, that I love natural fibers myself. So there's a good chance that I may be keeping this sweater. Depends how comps are. I found it for $5.99. Now I found also a few exciting things on the racks, but then I actually took the time when I was in the store to make sure that I wasn't overlooking any damage to the pieces. The first piece that I saw that was so thrilling was a really cool vintage Hawaiian maxi dress. Beautiful bright colors, true 1960 vibes. And I even found similar comps selling on places like Etsy, of course, where vintage is king. I try to, you know, take into account the Poshmark market as well. Not as many people are thrifting vintage on Poshmark like Etsy or eBay, but still, I'm sure the price was great and it looked really, really beautiful. I was kind of on the fence about it. It's a very particular piece. You know, it doesn't have that broad brushstroke of meeting the needs of a lot of people, but the needs of maybe a small group of people. And then I kind of noticed, I was looking at it and there really were no stains. It looked like it was barely worn. It was pitted out a little bit, so there were white flowers and it had yellowed. It's 30, 40 years old, so 50 years old. So of course that can happen over time, especially if it wasn't laundered after it was worn. So that's kind of where the wear shows. And then the next piece I had to pass on, which I'm kind of sad about, is a pair of Free People flare jeans. They were just like wide legs, super modern, cute cut, size 6. I mean, I would have jumped all over them. I had them in my cart in a flash. $7.99. Like, yes, Free People jeans, awesome. And then I decided to give them a closer look, and this is my top recommendation when you're buying jeans. And unfortunately, I do have to say this. Please always check there's really no subtle way to say this, but always check the crotch when you buy shorts, jeans, pants, leggings, everything. Always check, because the unfortunate reality is, you know, women have cycles and people don't know how to launder clothes. So actually, I on the outside kind of noticed that there may have been a stain. I wasn't wearing gloves. I didn't want to go too deep on this. I unzipped the back of the pants and just gave a quick look, and unfortunately they were stained. So please do your due diligence so you don't have to get home in stained pants. Anyway, I popped over to the Ark, which is just up the road from the Goodwill, and I just found a few pieces. I am thrilled with what I found. I'm gonna put on a couple of the pieces that I found in a little try on for you guys. So as I was walking through, you know, I'm looking at purses, I'm looking at shoes, nothing really there. I don't really source a lot of purses, so being there when the one woman was putting the purses out at the Goodwill was super fun, just to get a little bit of that taste of being able to source purses. I love photographing them. I love the ease of them, and so anyway, I just don't find a lot. So I'm going through the clothing racks, not really biting, coming up with anything. I do always love to go through the blazers at this location. I have found Veronica Beard there before for $12.99, so I absolutely was looking for Veronica Beard. I didn't find any Veronica Beard, but I made some good scores. So it was just like a $30 purchase kind of day, and I'll tell you what I got. I found these beautiful new in package Christian Dior stockings for 99 cents. Now this package is sealed, so I don't know if they have the top, if they are thigh high. I feel like I'm gonna have to break the seal to determine. It does feel a little bit bulky, like they are just proper pantyhose. The color on them is called Antelope, and they are a size medium. They have a little Dior logo on the leg of them, so they're actually gorgeous. I randomly found a boutique in New York City that's selling a pair for $140. I don't think that's what I'll even come close to selling these for, but my goodness. It's exciting to think you could turn 99 cents into $100. That would be like the flip of the day. So I was casually going through the dresses. I was paying a little bit more closer attention to the dress rack. What I like about the Ark is that their racks are long and straight instead of round racks. Round racks are what the Goodwill has moved to, and for some reason, my brain just does not hang with round racks. I struggle with round racks. So at the Ark, it's a straight rack. I just go down the straight rack. The only complaint and silly little nuance that bugs me is that items with the tags facing to the right. So as you're going down the rack, you have to move it to the left. I'm right-handed. I like to move items to the right. It's a weird thing, but it's like, I guess maybe it's good for my brain. It's gonna be like retraining parts of my brain. I found this lovely dress today. It was $14.99 and it's a Reformation dress. I do believe this is an older tag, an older Reformation tag. It's polka dot, it's lovely. It's probably a size 4. I mean, I'm not even sure if I've ever found a Reformation dress that wasn't a size 4. I found the tags. Reformation size 4, dry clean only. Green dry clean only. Okay, so if you're wearing Reformation, you should only be going to the green dry cleaner. My opinion is Reformation, you should be making items with fabrics that people can launder at home. I'm sticking with it. It's been a gripe of mine for years. I also found a couple of blazers and one pair of pants. I found a pair of A Goldie pants on the new rack. These are really cool. These are called the Jericho pants. They're kind of like cargo pants, and my goodness, they were $4.99. 2 other things I got, 2 vintage blazers. One was this navy Laura Ashley blazer, made in Hong Kong, just that gorgeous era. Actually, it is a US 12 and it's 100% linen. It does need to be cleaned up a little bit. You can tell it hasn't been worn in a while and it just has some remnants of it being worn, but you can tell it hasn't been currently worn. And this piece was $4.99. So I'm loving the price point that I picked items up for today. And then the last one was just this plain green wool 90s cut blazer. And I loved it, so I went for it. And that's actually all I have. Those are my 2 thrift hauls. The first place I spent $60 some, and then at the second place I spent $30. So all of these items were under $100, which means my average cost of goods stayed pretty low, even though I did find a couple of pieces like that Patricia Nash piece for 20 bucks. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, I'd love for you to subscribe or give it a thumbs up. And I'll be seeing you guys in a few days with some more adventures and reselling. I do have an offers from buyers video coming up, and I'm looking forward to sharing. Greetings, friends, part 2. I didn't expect to have a second part to my thrift with me video, but something just kind of came over me this morning. I postponed my live show a couple of days. I just wasn't feeling like pulling out all these things to host a live show. So I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go out thrifting. I had some like intuition of just like, hey, go out thrifting, because sometimes I have to convince myself to go out thrifting. So it's kind of odd that like back to back I went out thrifting 2 days in a row, but here I am. I sit amongst a pile of thrifted items because that is my style. I come home with my IKEA bag full of stuff and I plop it on the floor and I pull it all out and I start to see how I did. Now, spoiler alert, I found a grail item today that I didn't know existed. I didn't know I was looking for. It just found me. It's a resale value that is going to blow your socks off. So that's coming up. I'm gonna get into what I picked up today. It's gonna be a fast and furious part 2. I found these really awesome Good American jeans. Now these are the Good Curve. I was super excited to find them until I came home and I realized that someone may have bought a size that was too small for them. So these are going back. These are a super cool wash and stuff. I was excited to find these and then disappointed to find out they were damaged. It was nice to find a pair of Good American jeans that were not the good legs. I also came across today a whole grouping of brand new with tags Good American jeans that were priced $59.99 at the Salvation Army. So I passed on those, but it was kind of cool to see that. It looks like a business donated them. I'm just gonna get right into it, okay? Fast and furious. The first item I would like to share is this dress. It's called Chiara Boni La Petite Robe, made in Italy. So obviously the pattern stood out to me, and then, oh, I'm so tactile. Once I started touching the dress, this dress, if I could describe it, is like a dress version of like a wetsuit. It feels like this spandexy, neoprene fabric that just cinches you in and makes you look amazing. Now these dresses retail for $800 and higher, and they seem to have a great resale value of anywhere from $100 to a few $100s. They do produce more fancier gowns. I would consider this to definitely be a going out dress, but on the less constructed side. So I would expect this to be in that $100, $150 range. This is just a men's Lululemon quarter zip. I was kind of surprised to find this. I saw a guy take it off the rack and he was looking at it, and then it distracted me. I waited for him to put it back, and then I just strolled over there and grabbed it for myself. I love picking up Evereve, and this is an Evereve black eyelet blouse. I love cotton, I love eyelets. This is a more modern, cropped, boxier style, has a puff sleeve. I didn't run comps on it. I think it was $6.99, so I just thought, Evereve, I'm going for it. There's really certain brands that I just naturally have in my wheelhouse that I feel like I don't need to check comps. Now on that like exotic dress, I've never seen the brand before. I loved the made in Italy. Some things caught my attention, and I felt like, okay, I need to make sure that this is what it seems to be. So I did run comps on that item. These I've just recently sold a pair of, the 90s straight ultra high rise Abercrombie and Fitch. Unfortunately, they are not the Curve Love, but my goodness, they are a gorgeous length, and they are also a size 10. I love picking these up. These I will list for close to $60, and they'll probably sell about $45 to $50, that range. I thought these were super cool. These are a pair of Free People Movement pants. They are a size large. They feel cottony. They have a zipper and a snap. I didn't run comps on them. When I find Free People pieces, and those were $7.99, that are priced well, so they're not like $14.99, I would have really had to have paused, looked at comps, and decided. If I find a Free People Movement piece that has all of the things that I'm looking for, has really cool patterns, it's got a great design, I'm talking style wise, a little bit on the baggier fit side, looks like something that I feel like people seek out those pattern Free People pieces. So that's why I didn't even check comps. I still haven't even checked comps. I'll check them for this video and plop it up here. This is an easy one for me, and this one was half price. This is a packed organic, just 100% cotton dress. It was an extra large, which really helped me decide that I wanted to pick it up. For that type of piece, I'm gonna go with how much they have it priced at, because a lot of my local thrift stores are pricing up Packed. Packed is a local company, so there's a lot of Packed in this area, so thrift stores are marking it up. It doesn't have that high of a retail value, but I like to push the edges of what I can get for an item, and then size. So finding a dress compared to like pants or other things like sweatpants, and then the size and the price. That's what helped me decide. I will put sustainable, organic cotton, those types of things into the listing as keywords. These are a pair of, I'm not sure if these were a good choice, but I went for it. These are a pair of size 2 Patagonia women's. They look kind of like climbing pants. You could roll up the bottom of them. They were also $6.99. I paid up for this. Now this was $8.99. This is a Lululemon bra. I believe it's a 36 double D. And these bras, I will put up the name of it. I don't know off the top of my head. They retail for $105. So that is like the fanciest Lululemon bra you can find. If you find one of those, pick it up. I have one listed right now for $55. This is just a love tee. So Lululemon makes these t-shirts called the Love Tee. I'm gonna have to do some freshening up of that just simply because of the color. This is a marine layer. It kind of feels like a terry and they flipped it out. This potentially, from the size of it, feels like it could be a men's. Here is the marine layer internal tag. I love finding marine layer. I just sold a pair of marine layer pants today for $58. And there is the exterior logo. So it's soft, stretchy, comfy, cozy. And I love selling men's marine layer. I love selling women's marine layer. And the other brand I also love finding is this brand right here. This is Faraday. Faraday and marine layer are just great, great fast sellers for me. This piece is adorable. It's like a floral Indian lightweight cotton fabric. It's a jumpsuit, and there is that Faraday tag. Love it. Now these two next pieces I picked up because they were 50% off. This is a Patagonia dress. I typically do not pick up these Patagonia dresses. It was $10.99 with 50% off, so it was $5.50. And this was a size large. It's just kind of like their travel dress. What I liked about it was that it's more of a midi length than a short length. So if it was just the regular short dress, I would have passed on it. I liked that it is a dark floral, that it's midi length, and that it's a size large. Let me just confirm the size on it because it does feel a little big. Yeah, so it's just the size large. This will actually be printed under the shelf bra if you happen to come across one. I could just tell from the shelf bra styling it was gonna be like Title IX, Patagonia, Prana, one of those brands. And then I looked at the tag and realized it was Patagonia. This I also picked up a little out of pocket for me. Soft surroundings. I've picked up before because I see other resellers selling it, and I don't love selling it. You know, this will probably be a $32 sale. This was another half price item, but this was $8 with half price, so it was only $4. I loved the mixed florals of it, and this will probably be listed. I will include Coastal Grandma with that. Sometimes I put resort wear if it's feeling like resortish, and also the style is a little bit more easy breezy. So for $4 I picked it up. Now this dress needs a little bit of help, but this is a Lululemon dress. Look at that. Kind of the logo is worn off there, and it has the logo up here, and I just thought that is a super cool. It feels like a vintage Lululemon piece. It's probably 10 to 12 years old. It has washwear to it. It's gonna need a little TLC, but I decided that it looked pretty cool and it was a unique dress. Sometimes, sorry, there was, my dog's best friend just came to the door. I just don't have time to put his harness on, take him outside, so not engaging. That these pants are brand new with tags. These are a pair of marine layer pants. Speaking of marine layer, these are a medium, and gosh, news to me. I didn't even realize this when I sourced them. I just knew that they were marine layer and I wanted to pick them up, so hooray. So this is a pretty obscure find. This is a very high-end cycling company called Rafa. and they have a store in Boulder. Now, this piece in particular is called Cycling Bibs. So basically it has the top attached, and this set of bibs has wear to it. There's like this seam has separated right here. There's some discoloration marks, and I picked it up anyway. They sell for hundreds of dollars. They resell for $100. So if I can list it at 50, I'm gonna be doing good. These are called the Nines by Hatch. Now, Hatch is a maternity company, a fairly high-end maternity company. I haven't found the Hatch in a really long time. These are just going to be a pair of maternity overalls. They kind of have a skinny leg. They're super cute. I did run comps on them in the store to just confirm that they were worth picking up. This was another piece that I didn't realize was new with tags. The brand on this is Scully. What's Scully? I have no idea, but look at this. Oh, I was like, wow, look at the beading on this jacket. And then I turned it and looked at the back, and there's beading on the back, there's beading on the bottom, and guess what? Another new with tags. This is like a $150 jean jacket. This says $130 on here. I've seen it for upwards of $150. This came from a boutique, or it says Honey Creek by Scully, and never been worn. I absolutely love finding new with tags pieces. That means I'm gonna be listing this at about 25% higher than if it was pre-owned at least. I am just gonna shave off from that $130 or $150, about $30 to $50. I'll price it around $98 and stay pretty close and firm to my listing price. This was a size-based piece. So obviously this is an extra large sweatshirt. This is Pilcrow by Anthropologie. This tag is interesting. You know, they took away the and the letterpress, but this kind of still has it, although it feels like a more modern piece for Pilcrow. And to me, honestly, with the color and the style, it doesn't look like it's been worn. It's not new with tags, but. And then I have a couple more pieces that I got. This is just a Free People sweater. It does have a discoloration mark, but it was only $5.99, so I'm gonna see what I can do with that. I loved the style and color of this. I love finding neutral tone Free People sweaters. I also picked up this marine layer. This is just a cotton sweater and super cute. Just a tank sweater, cropped, cotton, perfection. Now on the top of my bag is my Grail find of the day. So I decided to loop back and look at that very last aisle, and I'm really glad I did, because 2 weeks ago I found an amazing pair of Birkenstocks there that are no longer made, and today I found these Nike shoes. Now I don't have the details of the name, but there's the little Nike swoosh right here, and I thought, wow, those are kind of cool. Did not anticipate that these would be Nike shoes. Well, apparently they are a collaboration with an Australian industrial designer, and those shoes retailed for $500 when they were released in 2004, so 20-year anniversary. They produced them through 2014, and I am happy to report that those are an original 2004 production. I go on to Google search these as I'm standing right there in the thrift store, and I happen to notice that a pair of these brand new in box sold by Sotheby's at auction for $1,000. Hold up, $1,000. Guys, can I just show you this? Look what I paid for them. $6.99. So Shit, if I sell them for $500, like, hello, this may have been the biggest profit margin I will ever make as a reseller if these sell for $500, $600, $700. I am strategizing how I'm going to sell them. I am considering just posting them on eBay because they have an authentication service there and they really cater to sneakerheads. They make the process of buying sneakers on eBay very, very safe and secure for people who are looking for unique and authentic sneakers. On Poshmark, I just feel like I'm gonna get a bunch of you-know-whats, poopy heads, who are gonna be offering me 10 bucks for them. So I'm just like energetically, as I like to say, I don't want a deal. So guess what? I gotta come up with a plan of action. It's always a double-edged sword when you find something that is of such value, because you have to determine as the seller, which way am I gonna go with this? You know, am I gonna shoot my shot? Am I gonna post these for $750? Am I just gonna maybe make a quick flip and post them for $500? Like, what is my strategy? They are a size men's 10, which I think is great. They're in lovely condition. I don't have an original box or anything, so let me just take a step back on that $1,000 sale. Brand new in packaging, never worn, that vibe. Like, preserved and really taken care of, never worn, sat on a shelf. Not quite the caliber of the ones that I have. And of course, you have to consider all of those things when really trying to shoot your shot. I'm gonna keep you guys posted, but I love a big sale. It's so delightful. This is just an Athleta Pranayama cardigan. I love picking these up, and this green color is gorgeous. It's an extra small. Let me show you just what the label looks like on this. Just an old school style label. It's got kind of some flowiness to it. You'll typically see these in black, maybe pink, gray, and they often start to pill. This one looks to be in pretty good condition. I picked up a pair of driftwood jeans because I love picking up driftwood. They're always going to have some sort of beading or embroidery. Occasionally you'll find a plain pair, but they're great to pick up. I thought this was so cool. This is just a Sundance thermal hoodie. And I love picking up waffle knit. I love picking up thermal. And then it's got that gorgeous embroidery to it. Oh my goodness, I had a 25% off coupon. This is $12.99 with 25% off. And even better, it was a size large. I've noticed the thrift stores have really been marking up Sundance. They use a lot of great natural fibers. I understand why. A lot of the times I find Sundance in size 2, size 4. So when I noticed that this was a large, I decided I'm gonna go for it. These are just an old school pair of aloe leggings. They have a little bit of mesh work in them. They were half price, so I got them for $3, and they're a size large, so not much of a risk for me, even if I sell them live for 20 bucks. I do find that aloe doesn't sit very long in my closet. Now, these, the tag were cut out of, but these are a pair of Viore leggings. They're pretty substantial. They're early generation Viore. Look at that label. I don't have many details on them, but to me, they look like they're a size large. I'll personally try these on and try to get a sense of what the size is. Half price, and they are that new label Pilcrow. So they dropped the letterpress, right? That's what the newer label Pilcrow is looking at like. I picked these up, because they're kind of that duck color, that Carhartt-ish color. I think great for fall. And clothing item was just a pair of Spanx joggers, totally new to me. Slip on, kind of a really washed out black charcoal gray feeling, zippers at the ankle, elastic at the ankle, and they were a size large. You know, I just really cannot reiterate that size is now kind of driving what I'm bringing home, and size large, it's important to me. Extra large, important to me. Size small, it's gonna have to check a lot of boxes for me to choose to bring that item home. This is a super cool, so Justin is a Western boot brand, and this is a Justin leather belt. That buckle is absolutely fabulous. Did not run comps on it. This was $4.99, and I knew I would 1000% take a risk for $5. I also found a pair of New Balance 327s. I wear 327s. I have a pair I already need to clean up, so I decided I'm gonna pick these up and I'm gonna clean up both pairs at the same time. I believe the other ones that I have, they're like a copper colorway. They're exactly this style as well, and they're a size 7 and these are a size 8. I found 2 pairs of UFOs for $2.99. I found a white pair with blue for the very first time. These are recovery foam flip-flops. These are a women's size 7. These are a women's size 11. There is the UFOs logo, and these are definitely worth picking up. Once you get them home, this is where you find the size. They're gonna be right there. And it'll always have the men and the women's corresponding size. So thank you for dropping in for part 2 of this video. I hope you enjoyed my haul from today. Now I've got to get all of the items that you've seen in the video, part 1 and part 2, washed and posted. See you guys later. Have a great day.